Hi, welcome to the Digital Foundry. I'm Sherry McCleary, the Executive Director here at the Penn State Digital Foundry in New Kensington, and I'd like to welcome you to the first part in our six-part series on smart manufacturing, exploring smart manufacturing for business success. Over the next 6 weeks, as part of our Tech Talk Tuesday, we're going to be focusing on these topics. We're going to start today with an introduction to smart manufacturing, and over the next 5 weeks, we will go through topics including inputs and outputs, which is about sensors and capturing and using data on your shop floor. Machine controls, which focuses on the power of programmable logic controls and connected machines. Supervisory controls, which looks at the use of SCADA and HMI systems to give you access to real-time data and information in your processes and improve operational efficiencies. Followed by manufacturing operation management, which allows you to look at end-to-end management of your operations for real-time decision making. And finally, closing out with a session on product lifecycle and enterprise management. You'll notice that we are showing the ASI triangle next to that. Many of you may be familiar with this. It's a great way of capturing the technologies that are important to automation systems, but these are also the building blocks of smart manufacturing, and why we want to start there, with understanding how each step in the pyramid allows you to get closer to smart systems when you start to connect those systems and send data up and down that pyramid. So I hope you enjoy this series. If you can't join us each week, their recordings will be available on our website at digitalfoundrynk.com. So let's get started with our introduction to smart manufacturing. Thank you for joining us.
Let's take a look at the introduction to smart manufacturing. When we think about smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, digital manufacturing, there are a lot of terms out there, and there is a lot of association with different technologies, modern technologies in manufacturing that include everything from digital twins to advanced robotics, Internet of Things, and 3D printing. And while those advanced digitized technologies are an important part of ultimately getting to a smart factory, smart manufacturing is really all about data. Regardless of the definition, data is always at the core of smart manufacturing. When done right, smart manufacturing is the integration of data, automation, and simulation to improve production, to improve product designs, and ultimately improve decision-making and business outcomes. So we want to focus on this series on the definition of smart manufacturing as it relates to focusing on the implementation of data-driven decision-making, and that's what will make it smart. As one of the Smart Manufacturing Innovation Centers for SESME, the National Smart Manufacturing Institute, we'll take a look at their definition for smart manufacturing. They describe smart manufacturing as the information-driven, event-driven, efficient, and collaborative orchestration of business, physical, and digital processes within factories and across the entire value chain. How do you do that? It's all about integration of resources and processes, monitoring and continuously evaluating data through sensing, process modeling, and predictive analytics that then allow you to better monitor your workflow. And why do smart manufacturing? Well, at the end of the day, if it's done correctly, it can be very transformational. It can impact manufacturing through everything from your speed and production efficiencies to agility, quality, throughput, and time to market, cost, and understanding true costs in your operations, safety, utilization of your assets and their reliability and maintenance, and understanding and managing your energy consumption. So let's take a look at manufacturing, what has changed today and also what hasn't changed. So for starters, what hasn't changed? So the fundamentals of physics and chemistry that are behind the processes in any manufacturing operation are not going to change. Transformation methods and energy sources have not radically changed in recent decades, and equipment capabilities, a lot of which are still relatively the same, as well as the need for process models, are things that have not changed with the advent of smart manufacturing and more digitization of processes. What has changed and has really enabled the explosion of smart manufacturing and the potential for smart manufacturing is the low cost and the ubiquity of sensing, the ability for sensors to be placed just about anywhere in your operations to give you better eyes and information on what's truly happening in your environment, with your machinery, and in your operational processes. Communications and data processing have changed radically, as has the rise and the availability of machine learning and artificial intelligence, as well as the standards for data and data communications. The intensive use of data and communications through IT infrastructure is a radical change that we have seen in manufacturing and has led to the need for production requirements to have much more skills, competency, and integration of IT and OT in their operational processes. So now we're going to take a look at some data and information provided to us through a recent report from one of our technology partners, Plex and Rockwell Automation. They did a survey of approximately 300 manufacturers to understand the state of smart manufacturing today. And what they found with regard to the adoption of smart manufacturing technology is that it's increasing significantly in recent years, with 83% of those surveyed believing that smart manufacturing is a key to their organization's success in the future. When you ask about what are the key business challenges that have created the need or the drive towards looking at smart manufacturing, the three most pressing business challenges that were driving the need for smart manufacturing were shortage of skilled workers, risk mitigation and cybersecurity, and supply chain disruption. Many of these things were just exaggerated during the pandemic and post-pandemic era that we find ourselves in. When you look at smart manufacturing and how it can help maximize growth opportunities, the things that were mentioned most often were cloud technology, automation, quality management, supply chain planning, industrial Internet of Things, and manufacturing execution systems. That same report gave us some insights into some common operational issues that are leading to sub-optimized business outcomes today. Some of the things that manufacturers felt they most needed to address that smart manufacturing may be able to help them with was poor visibility to inventory and inventory accuracy, manual processes that resulted often in operator errors, product variability, scrap, waste issues, the poor integration in customized systems and unreliability of data, lack of supply chain adaptability and operational effectiveness, as well as resource constrained and in particular not enough skilled people to tackle some of the value-added work that's needed to get products to market effectively. All of these things are leading to business outcomes that include increased cost, higher risks, poor quality and brand reputation, customer delays, lack of competitiveness, wasted resources, and inability to scale business. None of those are good outcomes. All of those are things that smart manufacturing can help you to address. When asked about what are the most common barriers for why they are not adopting more smart manufacturing, it was perceived that cost and the lack of skills and familiarity were their top reasons or barriers for most manufacturers to say that they are not adopting smart manufacturing today, or they're limiting the use of it today. Some of these are perceptions, some of these are reality, but those are things that we can help you dig into. So to get started, as with any challenge that's technical in nature in particular, it always helps to start by understanding the building blocks of what you're working with. Essentially, what are the tools that are available to you today? What problem is it that you're trying to solve? And how can those tools be leveraged to help you solve that problem? So we're going to help step you through that. When we look at smart manufacturing, the foundation of it really comes out of automation. So we're going to use the ISA automation pyramid as the building blocks are starting to break down what are the working elements in a smart system. Over the next few weeks, you'll take a little bit of a deeper dive into each of these levels in the automation pyramid. Phase 1 is all about automation and connectivity, starting to get those systems in place. And then it becomes about how are you sharing the data up and down that pyramid to truly make it a smart system. So phase 2 becomes more reactive, where you're capturing data, you're using that data to drive decision making, and it starts with having advanced sensors and integration into your plant operations. As I've said before, eyes on your operations, then taking that data and information, putting it into context that will turn a lot of numbers and a lot of data into meaningful information, trend lines, dashboards that can allow you to make decisions more quickly that are data-based decisions. When you truly move to a smart system, the phase 3 of that is being proactive in your intelligence. And by that, we mean that you're starting to take that data and create analytics, to create automated models and simulation that will allow you to have an active feedback and optimize your processes, optimize the feed of data and the reaction to that data up and down that pyramid, and the outcomes that it will drive. At the end of the day, we like to say that smart manufacturing is all about getting the right data at the right time, in the right form, in the hands of the right people so that they can do something with it. So it starts with these basic building blocks. And what we want to emphasize is you don't have to bite off all of it at once, but you need to start putting these building blocks in place to have the digitization to allow you to capture the data, contextualize the data, move it into systems that allow you to use it for information purposes, and then ultimately get to the point where you're using that to not just be reactive, but to be predictive in your operations. So the way to get started with smart manufacturing for success is to first identify and prioritize the challenges or the applications and use cases where you would like to apply it. What are some of the greatest challenges you have in your operations, the greatest financial or operational impacts or bottlenecks or problems that if you could solve them, you know would have real value for your business? Is there a viable and sustainable technology that can help you to address that? Those are the starting points. I always start with not what's the technology first, what's the problem first, and then is there technology out there that can help you address that problem? Step number 2 is all about empowering your team. If you are going to grow and maintain smart manufacturing, you need to grow and maintain competencies in your staff and your team at all levels in the operation. And it's also going to be very beneficial as you start to implement some of these new technologies in attracting the next generation of your workforce and your team, your talent, that generation who have grown up as digital natives. They're looking for more digitization and more technology in their day-to-day work. Integrated and cross-disciplinary teams that are agile organizations, that are flatter organizations, all of those things can help in the rapid implementation and sustainability of your technologies. The third step is to start small, to prove capabilities and win support. You want to have the right balance of the value capture in combination with the time to capturing that value. So again, don't start with thinking you have to bite off all of those steps, all of those building blocks at one time. Let's start with what's a problem that is very viable to solve. Let's demonstrate that it can be solved, keep the investment low, and win the opportunity to continue to invest. Learn, adapt, and then scale the solution as you prove that you can be successful. Step number 4 is to build and leverage partnerships. Nonprofits like the Digital Foundry, tech providers, and integrators that are experienced in navigating manufacturing challenges that can bring the benefit of their experience and their application of those technologies. You don't want to try to do this in a vacuum. There's a lot of help out there, and we would like to be a part of that help chain for you to take the steps that we've outlined here. So while today was just a very brief glimpse into how we define smart manufacturing and why you should care because it can have real value to your business, we want to close with letting you know that we can be of help at the Digital Foundry. At the Digital Foundry, Our mission is to focus on delivering access to digital technologies through education and training, through awareness events, and through technical assistance or de-risking with manufacturers in our region. So we can help you in taking those steps to become smarter in your operations, to implement smart manufacturing, to make better decisions. And some of the specific services that we can provide to help you get there include starting with assessing your current state, coming in and helping you to understand what are the biggest challenges and where should you start small to continue to access success and wins. We can help you with mapping your strategy and your plan through strategic road mapping processes that have been proven with other participants in industry. And we can help you with doing prototyping and de-risking of technology in our shop, where you can see how it works, understand it, understand the business value before you go out and make investments in your shop. We also offer unique workforce training to help you to upskill your staff at levels from entry level on the plant floor all the way up to your engineering staff. And we can provide coaching for your team to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. We're here to be of service to the workforce of the future and the current, and we also are here to be an asset to local manufacturers. So take advantage of what we have to offer and some of the support that we can give you in taking this journey. Thank you for being part of our Smart Manufacturing series, and we look forward to talking to you again. Please connect with us through our website and social media.